In this video, I'm going to be talking about the two alternatives to dropshipping with AliExpress in 2020. In fact, I've used the two methods that I share with you in this video to sell well over $1 million worth of products in the last year. They work so well, I've sold over $80,000 worth of products this month alone. I'm Michael Christ, and if you're a dropshipper that's tired of poor quality products, slow fulfillment, or being copied by other sellers, you're going to love the two methods that I share with you in this video. And don't forget, if you like today's video, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and leave me a comment. I'll respond to every comment I get in the first 24 hours of this video's release. So let's get started. When I first started selling e-commerce online, I did exactly what everybody else did. I dropship products from AliExpress. After a while, I started to dread getting sales because of the fulfillment issues, the customer headaches, and the poor quality products from AliExpress. I started searching for other ways to dropship and eventually found the two methods that I'm going to share with you today, and they worked. I was able to grow my first store to 6 figures in just a few weeks, and I've never looked back. These two alternatives work amazingly well if you know what they are and you know how to use them. And that's exactly what I'm going to share with you today in this video. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. First, I want to talk with you about some of the problems with AliExpress. Now there are many, probably too many to actually cram onto a single slide, but these are the ones that gave me the biggest headaches. The first was the production and shipping issues, especially right now due to coronavirus. All of your shipping times, all of your production times, they're extremely delayed. Don't get me wrong, AliExpress is slow to begin with. They're slow even without coronavirus. Someone will pay in your store and they may not get the product for an entire month. That is a tough sell to customers that are used to 2-day shipping from Amazon Prime. But with coronavirus, it's even worse. Paying for something and having to wait 6 to 8 weeks to get it is just simply unacceptable. Not only that, but product quality can be a huge problem. It's incredibly inconsistent. One product might come down the manufacturing line great, the next product may have a defect, and there's no way for you to implement any kind of quality control. You are completely at the mercy of some manufacturing facility on the other side of the world. You have no oversight into their processes, there's no way for you to ensure quality, and you're stuck with the customer issue when they get a broken product. Beyond that, e-packet, everybody's favorite shipping method because it's so cheap, has been in limbo for years. For years, various administrations have been talking about ending e-packet because they see it as giving China unfair trade practices. And think about it, if e-packet ever goes away and you're forced to pay higher shipping rates that are not subsidized, you may not be able to afford to drop ship anymore. That will eat into your margins dramatically. And finally, competition is super fierce in the drop shipping space. As soon as you find a winning product and you've made some sales on it, it's only a matter of days, maybe a week or two if you're lucky, before another seller finds your product and starts selling it too. And they'll carbon copy everything you've done, from your ads to your landing page. This means it's incredibly difficult to ever get an edge drop shipping from AliExpress. But I've got two methods that work incredibly well if you're frustrated with this. So alternative number one, print on demand. Now I know you're probably thinking, I've heard of print on demand before. That's not new. It's not some fancy ninja trick. I thought you were giving me the goods. But I am, because print on demand gives you domestic fulfillment. It gives you high quality products. It gives you great customer service. It gives you fast shipping times. All of these things immediately give you an edge over a product drop shipped from AliExpress. Not only that, but the products are often unique, meaning they come from your mind, from your own creative abilities, from a fad you're picking up on or something like that. And a unique product is not only hard to find in stores, so it's attractive to buyers. You can hone in on passion points for your buyers, but also it's very difficult to copy. When you have a unique product that came from your mind, that was based on a fad that you saw or something that you were interested in, was a unique design that you put together and had the creative vision for, those are hard to copy. Not only that, but print on demand has some fantastic margins depending on the product. I love to sell jewelry from Shinon, my favorite print-on-demand supplier, and I can mark their products up 3 or 4 times my cost of goods, which gives me a huge margin to work with Facebook ads. Now, there are some cons to using print on demand. For one, it's a little bit harder to find a winner. You have to do a lot more product research, and you have to test a lot of different designs and creatives to find one that's a winner for you. It also requires some design skill, or you can outsource that. But nevertheless, you are going to require some kind of creative vision. You're going to have to know what you want to see on that mug, on that t-shirt, on the piece of jewelry. You have to be able to communicate that to a designer and then work with them to meet your vision so that you can create the product that you want. Now, there are a ton of great print-on-demand companies out there. Let's just go over some of them. First of all, I love Shine On. Shine On does these really cool jewelry pieces. You can create your own designs and print on the jewelry piece, or they do message card jewelry with actual jewelry products. They're fantastic, the margins are great, and I recently did 6 figures in just a handful of days using some of their products. They're awesome. Next is Gear Bubble. I really love Gear Bubble. They also have some jewelry products, but they also have mugs and t-shirts and wine tumblers and a few other things. They're really awesome. One thing I really like about Gear Bubble is it's very fast to upload a new product, get a URL, and test. You can do it inside of 20 minutes if you know what you're doing. Both Shine On and Gear Bubble have platforms, meaning you don't have to have your own Shopify store to run Facebook ads. You just upload a product, they'll give you a URL on their own store, and you can run Facebook ads to that URL. But that's not it. The print-on-demand world is huge. You have Viral Style. You have Dreamship, which has really cool metal art pieces. You have Pillow Profits, which has tennis shoes and blankets and bedspreads. You have T-Launch, Teespring, T-Chip, WC Fulfillment with very unique phone cases. You have Custom Cat, which has too many products to even name. You have Redbubble, Printify, Printful, Guten, Rage On, which does these really cool all-over prints, All Over Print, T-Fury, and a whole bunch more. I'm telling you, the print-on-demand space is gigantic and it's growing every day. The number of different items you can print a design on is mind-blowing. If you've never used print-on-demand, I highly encourage you to check it out. Now let's talk about what the process looks like to use print-on-demand. So step number 1, you have to do product research and get inspiration for what kind of design you want. So I highly recommend using AdSpy, Sorting Social, or Etsy for your product research. If you don't want to use AdSpy or Sorting Social because they're paid tools, Etsy is a great free tool, but you can also just browse around on Facebook pages. Step number 2, create a design using Canva or Photoshop. If you don't want to create your own designs, you can outsource to a designer. I recommend finding designers on Fiverr, Upwork, or onlinejobs.ph. Fiverr can be a little bit iffy, so you have to really make sure you vet the individual that you're hiring. I've had a lot more success with Upwork and onlinejobs.ph. Step number 3, upload your design to a print-on-demand app or platform. This is really easy and should only take you a few minutes. And then finally, run Facebook ads to that URL and see if you get any sales. Print on demand is a really great way to build a brand around a niche. I highly recommend it. Whether you're a brand new person coming to this or whether you're a seasoned pro, you really should have some print on demand products in your repertoire that you're selling online. If AliExpress or ePacket or something else ever goes belly up, you want to have some alternatives at your disposal so you can be flexible and adjust with the times. Print on demand is a great tool to have in your toolbox just for that. Alternative number 2, dropship from Etsy. Let's talk about the pros and the cons. First, the pros. Fulfillment is from the USA, which means you get fast shipping times, great customer service, and very high quality products. I also love that Etsy products are super unique and a lot of times handmade, meaning you're not going to find them on AliExpress or Alibaba or somewhere else. Typically, these are products you're not going to find in a store. You may only ever see them on Etsy. Now let's talk about the cons. It's hard to find a seller willing to dropship from Etsy. Many times they're difficult to contact. they don't respond to you, they're not interested in drop shipping, or they want you to swivel chair from Shopify into the Etsy seller page every single time you get an order, which makes it very difficult to scale. They also have reduced scaling capacity. Many times Etsy products are handmade, meaning your ability to scale will be bottlenecked by their ability to produce the product. And if it's handmade and they're putting in sweat equity with every single item, you may only be able to sell 50 to 100 units per day. And then finally, there can be thin margins. People on Etsy, first of all, they're located in the United States where the cost of living is higher, usually. Secondly, they're putting in sweat equity with every product that goes out the door normally, which means they want to be reimbursed for their time. Makes total sense. So that means that your cost of goods for that product is going to be fairly high. So unless it's an item that you can mark up dramatically on Facebook, you're going to have to be an extremely good marketer. It challenges your marketing skill, and you're going to have to find a way to get your cost per purchase down low enough that you make a profit. However, if you get all this to work and those stars align, Etsy is an amazing place to drop ship from. I'm currently drop shipping from Etsy, and I've done over $80,000 this month alone with my product. Now let's talk about the process to drop ship from Etsy so that you can do this too. So step number 1, perform product research on Etsy. Pull up Etsy. I want you to browse around, look for trending products, look for bestsellers, look for items that have recent reviews. Step number 2, identify unique products that are trending, solve a problem, or have a wow factor. You typically don't want a product that can be easily found in stores, and you also want to find a product that has very recent reviews on it because that tells you that it's currently selling. Step number 3, pitch the seller on a dropship agreement and get a yes. To do this, you're going to want to go to the product you're interested in, go to the seller store page, and then click Contact Seller. You're then going to want to write them a message telling them that you love their product, introduce yourself very briefly, and then ask them if they'd like to set up a dropship agreement. I've got a free template that I'm going to give you at the end of this video, so if you think you'd be interested in that, stay tuned. Step number 4, upload that product to Shopify. You're gonna have to create a new product listing in your Shopify store with a title and ad copy and images. You're gonna have to decide what price you're gonna sell it at so that you can make enough money to pay for ad spend and profit. Step number 5, send daily sales reports to the Etsy seller for fulfillment. This can be a little tricky to work out at first. It might be a new process for you and almost certainly will be for the Etsy seller. And there's going to be some back and forth and confusion and maybe a little frustration. The best advice I can offer you is make it as easy and frictionless for the Etsy seller as possible. Remember, a lot of times they're not as technical as you are. Maybe they don't know how to set up their own store, or they're just overwhelmed with the amount of orders that you're sending them and the fulfillment of those orders. They're doing a lot more work than you are, let's face it. So you need to make things as easy as possible for them. So that's going to wrap up today's video on the 2 alternatives to dropshipping with AliExpress in 2020. If you'd like to download all of these slides plus my email template to pitch Etsy sellers for free, I'd like you to click the link in the description below. So which alternative to dropshipping with AliExpress did you like the best? Leave me a comment below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you never miss a video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.